Hello. Welcome to the show. It's Monday, April 14th, 7 o'clock. There's some things going on. Not crazy stuff, but we're going to talk about a couple things going on. And, I guess I missed something that kind of was happening. I just kind of was brought up to speed, I guess, on this, that the Daily Wire is in some major trouble, financial trouble. I knew they were kind of slipping. It seemed like they were kind of slipping, but as it would turn out, they look like I don't know, they're sinking. It's a ship that's sinking. So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about Zuckerberg. He's on trial again. I mean, he's been on trial before, and he's on trial now for antitrust. Antitrust lawsuit. Basically, they're going after him for having a monopoly on social media. I don't know necessarily how he has a monopoly on social media, considering, Meta is seems like it's slipping. Like, I don't know. Boomers use it. I use it. So I'm not a boomer, but, old enough, I guess. We'll talk about that. Also, Canadian election polls and how they're probably bunk and complete bullshit. We're going to read an article by Politico. Dog shit article, of course, stating as to why the Liberals seem to have taken a very big jump in the polls. But again, I don't believe polls. Look at all the polling in the States saying Trump was going to lose every election he's run for, and he won 2 of them. So arguably 3. So I don't really believe it. I think it's bullshit, and we'll talk about it. We'll see where we land on that. Also, we're going to talk about the Minecraft movie. So I don't know if you've heard of this. So the new Minecraft movie, there's kind of this, I'll just say it, retarded little thing going on now, probably instigated by TikTok or something, for stupid kids throwing fucking popcorn and pop and shit, just creating a complete mess in the theater. I went to see this movie because I'm affiliated with some small children, not of my own, but I'm affiliated with them. So I have gone to see this movie. It was actually a pretty decent movie, but there was a crazy amount of retarded clapping going on. It was like being on a plane with simple people clapping, as if the creators of the movie can hear you clapping. So that did go on. So I guess the audience is overall retarded for this movie. We're going to talk about that. And Black Mirror has released its 7th season. And if you're a fan of the show, then no doubt you'll probably notice that it's been sort of slipping. It started out pretty wild, realistically. The show was great. And with each subsequent season, it's just kind of, I don't know. It's like regurgitating over itself. Doesn't seem very good. So we'll talk about that. Before we do any of that, if you're not yet a subscriber to the channel, do subscribe to the channel if you like the channel. If you don't, well, fuck off. I don't care. But yeah, I do. I'm just try and play tough. I really care. I actually cry a little bit. But if you do like it, best way to support it is to subscribe, if I can get the word out. Also, like, comment, all that kind of stuff. If you're on the live broadcast like now, jump in the chat. I will talk to you. And some of the guys that frequent the show will talk to you as well if they ever show up. They're usually here. And they'll jump in and, we can have a gay old time talking to each other in the chat. And also, if you miss any part of the podcast and you don't want to watch the whole thing again, I don't blame you. It's about an hour. So you can catch little parts, little skibbits of the segments that I talk about. I drop them between Tuesday and Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So obviously like and comment and all that kind of shit on those things if you want to help the channel. What's up, Gizzo? Robert, there you are. Smash that like button. Yeah, just like Tim Pool says, smash the like button. Don't just touch it. Don't hit it. Smash that shit. But whatever. Small channel. We struggle over here. We try and get an audience. We got a couple cool guys that jump in the chat. It's enough to keep me going. But if we could kind of build this thing, that'd be cool. But until then, I'm just going to keep showing up on Mondays at 7 o'clock and shove my stupid face down your throat. If you don't like it, well, whatever. The internet's a free place for now, so I'm just going to keep doing it. What's up, gentlemen? What do you guys say there? Good morning from the Antipodes. Cold autumn night here. Last rains have fallen. Oh, you're out of the rainy season. I see. Yeah, we're in the rainy season kind of here. We're in spring. I don't know. We got completely whack weather in Canada. We used to have 4 seasons. Now we kind of have 3, maybe. Fall doesn't really exist anymore. It just goes like from summer to cold, and then now we're kind of in spring, I guess. So we do have a spring. We got winter, spring, summer, and that's it. No more fall. But all right, let's get on the first thing, guys, and then we can talk a little bit about some of this shit. Poor Zuck. Zuck's in trouble. All right. I'm having a little technical difficulty here. So Zuckerberg is back in court again. Antitrust laws or whatever. They've been going after him for this monopoly shit for a while. Not that I am a big supporter of Mark Zuckerberg or Facebook in general or any of that shit. But, I mean, I don't know why you're picking on this guy. It seems like there's lots of other monopolies out there that you could go after. But let's see what CNN has to say about this. Dog shit CNN business. Mark Zuckerberg takes the stand on first day of Meta antitrust trial. Oh, what's going on there? Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg took the witness stand Monday as a social media company faces accusations by the Federal Trade Commission of creating a monopoly. They've been saying he's been doing that for a long time. So it's like this is going on probably 10 years. Zuckerberg's testimony came immediately after Meta, parent company of Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, and the FTC presented their opening arguments in the U.S. District Court of the District of Columbia, so D.C. You know, they have to make it, I guess they have a certain amount of characters they have to put into their stupid articles. So it's the first of what is expected to be 2 days of testimony for Zuckerberg, who will seek to defend 2 of his company's most important acquisitions, Instagram and WhatsApp, in the face of accusations from the FTC that the 2 platforms help make Meta an illegal social network monopoly. And although Zuckerberg is no stranger to defending his company, the stakes in this case may be higher than ever before. If the FTC wins, Meta could be forced to break itself apart and spin off WhatsApp and Instagram, which would upend the company's core digital advertising business and reshape the broader social media ecosystem. It's funny because this next line surprised the shit out of me. I'll be honest. I had no idea that they brought in this kind of ad revenue. I don't even know who the hell is advertising on Facebook or Meta or whatever. I don't. I have once. Actually, I have once back in the day, but didn't work. So I just pulled the ad, spent a couple $100 and didn't really do anything. So Meta claims to have 3.3 billion daily users. Bullshit. And applies that count as a core selling point of its ad business, which last year alone reported more than 160 billion in revenue. That's crazy. I had no idea. That's gotta be, you know, I don't know if it's close, but that's got to be kind of competing pretty heavily with Google. U.S. government argued that the acquisitions were intended to prevent Meta from having to compete with Nascent would be challengers by buying them instead. FTC lawyer Daniel Matheson argued repeatedly during opening statements that the consumers do not have reasonable alternatives to Meta's platforms. Lawyers for Meta argued its platforms have plenty of competition in the social media space and that the regulators approved the purchase years ago when they were made. Yeah, well, the regulators approved of it under a different administration, the Obama administration. I'm sure Meta was pretty favorable to Obama, so now it's like, you know, you get a couple administrations in there, especially now the Trump one. It's like, you know, you got to kind of turn your shit around. Even though Alien Zuckerberg has been trying to kind of ingratiate himself to the Trump administration and into the cool crowd lately. So I don't know. Matheson began questioning Zuckerberg about the transformation of Facebook from a platform designed to facilitate connections between friends and family to one focused more on showing users interesting, third-party content, including the launch of features like the news feed and groups. It's the case that over time, the interest part of that has gotten built out more than the friend part, Zuckerberg said. Users are connected to a lot more groups and other kinds of things. The friend part has gone down quite a bit, but it's still something we care about. Yeah, whatever. Facebook at this point is just stupid memes, another place to go look at funny videos and shit, and somewhere to keep track of your friends' birthdays that you forget. So you just go and check their birthdays. Other than that, it's people posting stupid shit and marketplace. Like realistically, what else? Who else? Who's using Facebook for anything other than that? It's really not like your friends group or your friends list and shit. Like I used to use like groups and stuff like that on there for like poker games and things like that, but nobody even checks them anymore. So it's just better ways to connect with people than that. Anyways, so that's enough of this article. This is dog shit CNN. It's just more of the same. Yeah, so he's in trouble. So Meta's in trouble again. I don't know. They seem to pull himself out. The first time they were in trouble for the same bullshit. But this time around, maybe, I don't know, maybe some of it sticks. Maybe this administration now is kind of tired of the bullshit. Maybe this is grudge. Maybe this is get back at Zuckerberg for shit that happened in 2016 on. I don't know. We'll see. What you guys saying? This expat thinks that the elections are going to be a sorry gong show. Yeah, I agree. I know. Where is Joe? I think he slept in. Carney get exposed for the bankster. Yeah, the bankster he is, exactly. Well, he's a WEF prick. Massive electrical storm in the east. Last rain's coming. Oh, that's cool. Facebook good for local news in Windhoek. Yeah, like I said, today I went on Facebook and there was like 4 friends that had birthdays. So it was just happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. I just say happy birthday to everybody. I don't give a shit. Even if I haven't talked to them in like 10, 15 years, whatever. Fuck. Then when my birthday comes around, I get to feel important when 150, 200 people say happy birthday to me. So, whatever. Used to be a popularity contest, but now it's just a bunch of bullshit. All right. Let's get on to the article in question here. The polls. So the Canadian polls are all showing that the Liberals are leading. I don't know if you believe that or not. The elections are coming in, 2 weeks? April 28th. So, yeah, basically 2 weeks. I think 2 weeks from today. And if you believe the polls, then you believe that it's almost a landslide victory for the Liberals again. But I call bullshit. I don't think this is true at all. I think they're doing the same thing they did in the States, where they're trying to manipulate people into thinking that something's going on with the polls. The only thing that throws me off a little bit is the predictive markets, the people that are betting. And that's usually a better indicator of what's going on when you look at that. But yeah, and there's a lot of betting as to the Liberals winning. So what's up, Joe? Yeah, so I don't know. Let's read this article. This is Politico, so don't expect much. They're just dog shit. Honestly, they're just complete garbage. But you gotta read garbage articles sometimes to see what they're saying on that side. What the polls in Canada are really saying. Conservatives in Canada could be forgiven for celebrating earlier this year. Their nemesis Justin Trudeau announced that he was resigning as prime minister, and polls showed they would romp to victory over the Liberals whenever the election was called. Except one longtime Canadian pollster soon began to see a different story. Beginning in January, Frank Graves started to notice a sudden and unexpected downward trend for the Conservatives. At the time, Graves was ridiculed online for his observations, especially because of his reputation as a Liberal supporter. But as Donald Trump talked more and more about tariffs and annexing Canada, Graves and the rest of the country watched as the Conservative Party's 25-point lead evaporated. Now Graves predicts a comfortable win for Mark Carney and his fellow Liberals. Again, bullshit. I call bullshit on that, but he's not wrong about the slip. There was a slip. I think the slip, some of what this article says is probably true. Some of it is just fresh face and people that are, that always want to vote Liberal no matter what. And we're just completely sick of Trudeau. Now seeing a new guy and they're like, fuck it, we're voting Liberal. So that's what I think that a lot of that slip is. This is unprecedented, Graves said in an interview with Politico magazine. I've never seen a transformation of one voter landscape in Canada of that nature. Ahead of the April 28th election, Graves explained how he detected the early stirrings of Conservatives' downfall and why Liberals were able to tap into the Canadian political zeitgeist in the new Trump era. So here's some of what the interview was. I'm not going to read it all because it goes on pretty long, but I'm going to touch a couple things here. So, question: you were one of the first people to detect the Conservatives' popularity might be landing or might be fading in January. What were your surveys telling you, and what did you see that others didn't? We started seeing some movement at the beginning of this year. We had the Conservative Party with a 25-point lead, which is a massive lead in our system. At that point, we had the Liberals, who were the incumbent, at historic, at least in the 21st century, low of 19 points, basically tied with the more left-leaning New Democratic Party at that point. Since then, we have seen a straight line movement. It's been interrupted, plateaued a bit in the last few weeks. At this point, it just can't keep going up. The 25-point lead was erased. Now, nobody else saw that, so I faced a lot of skepticism and criticism. Conservatives were unhappy to see a race that looked like it could just sip beer and cut the engines and cruise to a majority, and all of a sudden I see this narrowing. The Liberals, in my latest numbers, they would get a massive 200-seat majority. Yeah, right. Now I think there'll probably be a little fallback, but they'll have a big cushion. This is unprecedented. I've never seen a transformation of our voter landscape in Canada of that nature. This isn't well known, but we have been assembling data on a daily basis for over 6 months, as we do in the lead up to every election, certainly to get enough cases so that we can look at what's going on in microregions. So unlike a lot of our competitors, they'd have maybe 200 cases a week. They'd roll it up every month. They were doing 300 cases a day, so I provided a lot more agility in terms of being able to see any transient responses or shifts. There was a lot of skepticism, including a lot of people who said Graves is making this up. This is like an attempt to manipulate voters. Okay, so I'm going to unpack that a little bit. That he's just saying that they're tracking it day to day. They're tracking the polling, the micro polling, basically, where they go and they actually talk to people and they ask them and all that, as opposed to these giant aggregate polls that they take. But I like what he said at the end there. He said, I think he said the quiet part out loud. Graves is making this shit up. He's this stuff up. It's like an attempt to manipulate voters. I think that's what it is. I think that's exactly what's happening. I think they're just doing that thing where they say, "Oh, you know what? You got to believe this. This is what people are saying and doing." Everybody I talk to are voting for the Conservatives. So, and I know people that are liberals, that are normally liberals, and they're voting for Conservatives. I, in fact, I hate admitting this, but I've admitted it before on the podcast. This will be the first cycle I voted. I've never voted before because I just didn't see a point. In Canada, it was just kind of like more of the same, either party, right? One party cuts a bunch of shit, the other party spends a bunch of shit. But until COVID, it was like it was kind of like just whatever, right? It didn't matter. It was left of center, right of center, and it didn't kind of matter who was in government. They just, one did one thing, one undid the other, and it was, we just kept moving along. But now, since COVID, it was like, shit, we got to get rid of this Liberal Party. We got to get rid of these communists, basically, in our government. And so that's when I decided it's about time that I vote. And I know a lot of people that are the same boat as me, where they're actually deciding to vote for the first time. So I don't believe this. I just don't believe it. I don't know where these numbers are coming from. Unless there's millions of boomers and whatever's before boomers, all still living, and they're going to vote liberal. I just don't see it happening. I don't see it being a landslide victory for the Conservatives anymore, but I see it being a minority government for the Conservatives. I don't know. That's just my prediction. You heard it here. If I'm wrong, shit, I got to move because, I'm not living through I don't want to live through another shitty fucking liberal government. 10 years is enough. I'm not going to read any more of this. Honestly, this just keeps going. This is all the questions he was asking that they were asking. The interviewers were asking. It's more of the same. He's just talking about what he thinks, why he thinks that the Liberals are doing so much better. He thinks that Carney's a fresh face, and that people think that, this is his assertion, is that people think that Carney's going to be good with the economy. Carney's going to be good with Trump, with the nationalism as far as like protecting Canada as a nation instead of us being the 51st state, which I welcome. And I call bullshit on all that. I don't think he's going to be any good with that kind of stuff, inflation, that kind of thing. I think they're just going to continue to drive us into more and more debt. And at some point, we're going to be risking insolvency like we were back in the 90s. So it's they just keep doing this thing. It's like it's shifting chairs on the deck of the Titanic, right? So I don't see any change as far as what they would do if they were to win, but I don't think they're going to win. I think Poilievre's going to win, and unfortunately, I don't think he's going to win a majority government. So it's really going to kind of handcuff him as to what he can do, and but at least they'll be in, and maybe you can make coalitions with like Garbage NDP or Bloc Québécois or something like that to get some shit done. But we'll see. You heard it here. I think Poilievre's going to win. What are you guys saying here? Excuse me. 71 today. Oh, shit. Yeah, it was pretty warm here. It was about 17 degrees. So, yeah, what's that? 64 or something? So we were pretty warm. It will be 45 tomorrow again. So spring just came by to say hi. Yeah. Yeah. Spring's been weird. This spring has been very weird. When I was in Las Vegas, it was actually cooler in Las Vegas than it was here at home. How fucking lucky is that? They're going to 2020 U in Canada. Yeah. 2020 was the year they told me to work from home for the next 5 years. Good times. Yeah. Yeah. Nobody wanted to go back to work. Everybody wanted to just stay working from home. We're all pissed off. Regular cold, then wet here at the end of the monsoon. Yeah, you got fucking rain coming out of your ass over there. They fix into 1984 or you in Canada if Carney gets in. Yeah, well, honestly, I have a few things unfortunately holding me to Canada, but if I didn't, I'd vacate. I'd get the fuck out of this country. This country is a shit show. Pretty pathetic when we've basically been flatlined for 10 years. There's been no growth. So if you have investments and things like that, like I do, I mean, sure, some of it's gone up, but so my investments may have gone up. So my value there has gone up, but my property value's gone down. And, as far as like your buying power with the dollar, it's fucking garbage. So this country's shit. It's gone to shit. It's, too bad. Used to be kind of a good country. You're the only Canadian that I've heard wanted to be part of the U.S. I have no problem with that. I think it's kind of, I've always thought of us kind of as part of the U.S. I mean, we're only a country because we're allowed to be a country. Let's be real. The U.S. could annex us anytime. What are we going to stop them with? I think we have 30 tanks up here. I think Minnesota could take us over. He was just going to get a visa and overstay. Yeah. Yeah, I should have done that during the Biden thing. I could have just walked in and been like, yeah, we just told them, yeah, I don't intend on ever going home. I'm just coming. I live here now. They were like, oh, all right. Yeah, Canada died, no one held awake. Yeah, for sure. Canada, I don't know, man. I don't know if there's coming back from where we're at. I hope so. We did it in the 90s. If you look back in the 90s, we were at 167% debt to GDP, which was the highest, I think, ever in Canadian history. And they were talking about insolvency, and they got it back. So I don't know. I don't know if they can do it again. I just know that we're still overspending, constantly overspending. At least you're in the States, Trump's actually doing stuff to try and, get the deficit down. And, I don't know if he's going to be able to do it, but at least he's actually trying. All right. So let's get on the next thing here. Like I said, old story that I kind of didn't really know too much about until I was sort of availing myself of it. Seems I'm a little late, but I'm still going to report on it. I don't give a shit. So the Daily Wire's in trouble. I don't know if you know this already, and I'm last to the show, but yeah, they're they've been in trouble for a little while apparently, and with Jeremy Boring leaving as the CEO, or stepping down as CEO. I was watching some stuff where there's speculation that he's kind of at the helm of, or the reason why a lot of the financial problems are happening. Maybe a lot of mismanagement, a lot of romanticizing Hollywood and trying to pushed the Daily Wire into doing projects that just weren't going to be money makers, just because they were kind of like passion projects for Jeremy Boring. But I don't know. But all I know is that now the kids are going to suffer. I'm going to read this article here. This is the Niche Gamer. This is as of about a week ago. So the Daily Wire lays off entire staff of Bentkey. I don't even know what the fuck this is, honestly. I'm not part of Daily Wire. But let's read this. In the latest tale of financial woes for the conservative streaming platform, the Daily Wire, Bentkey, their children's entertainment division, has been shut down. The kids-focused branch of the company being shut down affects roughly 25% of their total staff. This comes on the heels of the Daily Wire's co-founder and CEO, Jeremy Boring, stepping down. The Daily Wire has also hired a bankruptcy lawyer. This means that Chipchilla, the token show on Bentkey, will not have any future seasons, at least not unless it gets sold to another company. Chipchilla was a children's show about a family of homeschooled chinchillas. It's kind of funny. The show was very clearly inspired by Bluey, the hit Australian children's show about a family of dogs. I like Bluey. Bluey's funny. I didn't even know Bluey was actually a girl. Crazy. You heard it here. There were other shows on Bentkey as well, but most of them were shows and movies that had been produced by other companies and were only temporarily being licensed to the Daily Wire. These shows are not in trouble due to Bentkey's closure, but it is a problem for Chipchilla and the smattering of other in-house productions at Bentkey. Excuse me. These mass layoffs and cancellations are not the first sign we've had at the Daily Wire was in big trouble. Last year, we reported on the cancellation of the Daily Wire's anti-woke Snow White and the Evil Witch, which was originally meant to be the first feature film to drop on Bentkey as a result of internal drama in the firing of that film's star, Brett Cooper. Earlier this year, we were the first outlet to report on the cancellation of Mr. Bircham, the adult animated show that was disliked by both the left and the right. That's the funny thing about this. Let's be real. The Daily Wire, while they were trying, they're trying to produce good content on a sort of right-wing, outlet, or in a right-wing outlet. It's still low budget, kind of mediocre shit, right? So it's no surprise that they put out stuff and it's just not really catching on much. I mean, as opposed to Matt Walsh's two hits. I mean, he puts out some great documentaries, and it's just that's maybe what they should just stick with, documentaries. And I don't know if the kids stuff was working. Stick with that. Just stick with stuff that's going to make you money, not this freaking bullshit. Anti-woke Snow White. Seems stupid to me. Many users have speculated as to what is the reason for the Daily Wire's financial woes, with some blaming the company for spending too much money producing films and shows. Over $100 million was dumped into Bentkey, with almost another $100 million dumped into the upcoming Pendragon adaptation, a show that was supposed to air in 2024, but still has not gotten a release date. Others blame the Daily Wire's political pundits for becoming increasingly disrespectful to their audiences and betraying their supposed principles of free speech. Matt Walsh has in the past few years increasingly been attacking people who enjoy anime or video games. Meanwhile, the Daily Wire has also fired employees for being critical of Israel, such as Candace Owens. Candace Owens would later make videos on YouTube criticizing the Daily Wire for not supporting free speech for pro-Palestine protesters on colleges. In colleges? On college campuses, I'm guessing that's what they mean. Not written very well. Because of this, thousands of people on social media and platform X have taken to spamming the replies of popular Daily Wire host Michael Knowles, asking him to leave the Daily Wire. See, that's funny. I'm not a huge fan of Michael Knowles. I think he's all right, but I don't know. I like Matt Walsh and obviously Ben Shapiro, but Michael Knowles. I don't think he would do all that well on his own. He would do okay, but I don't think he would do as good as the others. For now, Bentkey is still accessible, though is likely to change in the coming weeks. No new content is being added due to the layoffs of everyone involved. Oh, so that's problems. That's that could be the final nail in the coffin of the Daily Wire. I don't know if they'll pull back. I don't know if Ben Shapiro will leave or dissolve it and then just kind of start something else, or everybody kind of leaves, and who knows. But there's obviously going to be more to this story in the next coming months. We'll see where they land. If they're in bankruptcy talks, looks like the company's pretty much done. Oh yeah, Peterson. What's gonna happen to him? Yeah. Well, Peterson's kind of. I think he's kind of doing his own thing anyway. He does it through the Daily Wire, but realistically, if he could just take the Daily Wire off of it and just do his own podcasts, and I don't even know if it would hiccup. Like I think it would just be the same. It would just be like a little small speed bump. I'm not crying over Daily Wire. I don't care for them at all, especially Ben Shapiro. Just because you can talk fast doesn't mean you're as smart as you think you are. Well, I would disagree. I think he's very smart. But there's a difference between. Well, actually, okay. I think he's very smart, but intelligence is the key, right? It's intelligence is that variability to be able to actually be malleable to all different sides and conversations and not get pigeonholed into one thought. Being able to actually take differing opinions and change your view on something with new evidence. Now, I don't know if Ben Shapiro can't do that necessarily. I think he's brilliant. I think he's very, very smart, but he is definitely. I mean, I think what happened is the whole Israel thing that was kind of the downfall of it, because then it started that whole little beef between him and Candace, and then it was just like he just took this solid, rigid line on it, and I think there's nuance there. I don't think you can just kind of take that. I understand because he's a Orthodox Jew, and and he's got family there and all that. I understand how he can get how he could be very emotional about it, but if you're trying to just broadcast news, essentially, excuse me, I don't think you can do that. Although I know a lot of his shit's just opinion based, but yeah, I don't think that helped him. I don't think that helped the Daily Wire. I think that kind of maybe turned off a lot of people to watching it. I mean, I know that I would stop kind of watching clips when he was just, ranting on about Israel and such. Just uninteresting to me, so could be it. Dr. Peterson had to attend Canadian re-education camp. He hasn't been the same since if you ask me. Yeah, well, I think he's American now, right? So he's not even Canadian anymore. He's actually moved to the States finally. But yeah, no, I kind of agree. I think I think that was like for him, that was like it was a real dirty move, and he was really put off by it. But I don't know. He also made a kind of a shift over to religion too. So he's I don't know. Maybe he's changed that way. I love Peterson, so I can listen to him all the time, and I think he's brilliant. So I don't know. I'm kind of stuck on him, but I can see where he's kind of changed a little bit. JP's biblical and Holy Land history was pretty good. DW, I think. Yeah, I've actually watched. I watched one where he had like a whole round table of theologians, and they were talking about different aspects of the Bible and such. It was really good. I find the Bible completely interesting. Like I don't necessarily believe it. I'm not a religious person. I believe in a God, but I don't believe in necessarily the Bible word for word or anything. But I think it's a completely fantastic book. If you read it, it's so interesting. There's a lot of shit in there that's like, it's very prophetic, So it's hard to dismiss it. Matt Walsh is pretty good. I'll say that. Yeah, I like Matt Walsh. Yeah, for sure. All right, let's get on to this one. This idiotic thing I have to talk about here. Here we go. So the Minecraft movie is out. If you haven't seen it, no doubt it's out. But there's a whole new thing that's starting. I mean, I went to see this thing. So I went to say thing. It was a good movie, actually. Like, it was stupid, but, it was funny. It had funny parts. There's one specific part that just, I died laughing. I won't ruin it for you. But, I'll just say it involves knives. If you've watched the movie, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, when you watch it, you're gonna know. But hilarious. Otherwise, it was hokey and silly and whatever. It was whatever. I'm a fan of Minecraft, but I went to the theater to see this, and I just thought this was an isolated incident of these basically fucking retards in the theater clapping at different scenes in the movie and shit when different things would happen that would correlate with the game or whatever, right? The chicken, the zombie riding chicken was the worst. Everybody clapping and shit. But now the retards have taken it to a new level. You can't stop a retard. If they want to, they want to take it up a step, they take it up a step. I'm going to read this article. This is the Hollywood Reporter. Some Minecraft movie audiences are trashing theaters, causing chaos. A TikTok-fueled viral trend encouraging mayhem during screenings is causing some theaters to kick out moviegoers while employees are getting pushed to their limits. All of us cannot wait for this movie to be gone. Several viral videos have captured audiences of the blockbuster video game adaptation going wild, throwing food and drink. Oh, the hell happened there? And trashing auditoriums. In one video, somebody was kicked out for holding up a live chicken. Some theaters are issuing warnings, with Cinema United, a trade organization representing thousands of exhibitors across the globe, issuing a memo of voluntary guidelines, including pre-show announcements, and that if the situation escalates, local authorities can be called. Reportedly, and in at least one moviegoer's video, police have been called. Meanwhile, theater workers responsible for cleaning up the messes are saying they're fed up. Well, obviously. UK chain Cineworld reacted to the mayhem on Instagram, noting that clapping, cheering, and shouting, "I am Steve," is absolutely encouraged. No, it's not. Don't encourage that shit. Don't encourage the idiots to clap and cheer and shout. Fucking retards. Shut up. It's a movie. Shut up. Shut up and watch it. There's a bunch of people trying to watch it too. You fucking losers. And we live in a stupid society. Don't get me on a tyrant. But adding, don't go full creeper. No throwing, no mess, and no filming the screen. That's piracy, folks. While the film is only rated PG, a New Jersey theater posted a statement on Facebook saying that minors going to the film must be accompanied by a parent or responsible adult after an unspecified, unfortunate situation. So what is happening here exactly? For the uninitiated, a Minecraft movie follows four misfits who are pulled through a report. I'm not going to read this. This is whatever. I'm not going to give it away. It seems that once videos of chicken jockey eruptions started going viral on TikTok over the weekend, the trend spread, particularly among teenage boys. The film has grossed more than $185 million domestically and $380 million globally in just 6 days. That's funny. That's like dwarfing, pun intended, the Snow White movie. Wildly outperforming expectations and even outpacing 2023's monster video game adaptation, the Super Mario Bros. Movie. So far, Warner Brothers hasn't issued a statement. Just how far the chaos extends is unclear. None of the country's 3 top circuits have issued any warnings, and one top exhibitor says the vast majority of its showings have been without a major incident. Yeah. They're getting worse, though. This is, how long ago was this? This article was, like 4 days ago. From what I heard over the weekend, pretty bad. People were doing some stupid shit. So much that like people like Sebastian Maniscalco, who's a comedian, posted a TikTok saying if his kid did that, his kid would be done going to the theater. Like, this is retarded. Like, what are you doing? Why are we allowing this? Why are these kids? It's because these kids' parents aren't parenting them, right? No kid gets parented anymore. No kid gets slapped when they do stupid shit. If that's my kid throwing popcorn or a drink or something like that at the theater, I would volunteer him to clean the whole theater. I'd be like, he's going to clean it. Just have him work for you for nothing. He's going to spend the whole day here cleaning. You fucking prick. Anyways, stupid shit. Stupid people going to see this Minecraft movie, apparently, and doing stupid shit at the theaters. Oh, man, if they weren't kids, I'd just go theater punching. That'd be fun. All these people should be charged with destruction of property. Exactly. Easily. Like I said, I don't understand. I don't understand how these kids are getting away with this shit. Throw them in juvie for a little while. Nobody gets punished for shit anymore. What's so special about Minecraft movie? Well, it's kind of fun. I mean, I'll be real, like it's stupid, and it's like, whatever, it's a kid's movie, but there's some adult jokes in there and shit, and Jason Momoa is pretty funny. His whole shtick, what he's doing. And Jack Black is always kind of funny. I don't know. He's entertaining, I guess. He's not really funny. He's entertaining. I've been yelling flint and steel for years. These kids just catching up. Yeah. I did a video actually on my other YouTube channel where I put the Minecraft chewing noise in there when I was eating something. So I threw a little something in there. Yeah, Minecraft was so good, man. I've played a lot of Minecraft. I still like that game. I could still play it, but just don't play games. But retarded kids, man, what the fuck? Ugh, that was so frustrating when I went to see it. I was yelling out. I was yelling, fucking retards. I just kept yelling out every time they'd clap. I'm like, you fucking retards. It's not my finest moment. I was with a 6 and 10-year-old. So not my finest moment, but yeah. Oh, it's the game is just awesome. So good. It's funny because you see these kids playing on creative mode. Fucking useless. That's the problem with society right now. I think that's it. I think we can dumb it down to Minecraft. It's creative mode because they don't work for anything. Once I tried playing creative mode on Minecraft. Fuck, ruined it for me. It's like, fuck this. You can't have anything you want? No, you gotta go mine this shit. You gotta go fucking get it. You gotta, actually accomplish something. That's what makes the game worth it. Never got into Minecraft. It was just wasn't my bag. Wasn't my bag, baby. Well, that's fine. I mean, I wouldn't have, but actually, not to be dark, but I got into Minecraft pretty heavily when my brother killed himself. So I was distracting myself. So I played Minecraft for like 3 months, and a lot. I played it a lot. With me and my buddy played on a server, and we just kept developing. We had like an eight section, whatever you want to call it, whatever the map. It was 8 separate sections. Whatever. I had them all connected with rail, and we had different cities, well, towns. I had houses everywhere. I had all kinds of shit. It was great. Yeah, that's dark. I know, Gizzo. Sorry, buddy. Creeperless Minecraft's criminal. Is there a creeperless Minecraft? Really? Is it? So is this true though that the creeper is actually a bug? Was it actually like a game bug where they couldn't figure out how to make this character not blow up, so they just left it? That's what I heard that somewhere. I don't know if I'm promulgating bullshit, but I've told this to people before, so I don't. If I'm wrong, fuck me. I gotta I gotta retract my statement. Oh, peaceful mode. Yeah, peaceful mode's stupid.